The quiet town of Pine Hollow was no longer the same after that fateful night. The triangular ship had vanished into the clouds, but the unease it left behind seeped into every crevice of the town. Shadows lingered longer than they should, and even the wind carried whispers that no one dared decipher. Martha Green had not stepped off her porch since that night. She spent her days staring at the horizon, her once warm eyes now haunted and hollow. Sheriff Dean Carter, too, had changed. He avoided discussing what he saw, brushing off concerned questions with mumbled excuses and hollow reassurances. But his sleepless nights and frequent glances at the sky told a different story. The only ones who truly sought answers were Kevin and Amy Lawson. Unlike the townsfolk, who wanted nothing more than to forget, Kevin and Amy were determined to uncover the truth. What had happened to them during those lost hours? Why couldn't they remember anything beyond the blinding light and the suffocating hum? And most importantly, what did the shadows want? Kevin sat hunched over his desk in the small motel room he and Amy had rented. The walls were covered with maps, diagrams, and hastily scribbled notes. The air was thick with the smell of stale coffee and the faint hum of his radio equipment. "It's not enough," Kevin muttered, flipping through pages of his journal. "Everything's just fragments. None of it connects." Amy, sprawled on the bed with a laptop balanced on her knees, glanced up. "Maybe that's because we're looking in the wrong place. What if the answers aren't in what we remember, but in what we're missing?" Kevin frowned. "What do you mean?" Amy closed her laptop and sat up. "Think about it. We both blacked out, right? But what if we didn't just lose time? What if they took something from us?" Kevin's stomach churned at the thought. "Like what?" Amy hesitated. "I don't know. But ever since that night, I felt different. Like there's something missing, or maybe something new. Something that wasn't there before." Kevin's eyes widened. "I've felt it too. It's like an itch I can't scratch, like something just beneath the surface." Before Amy could respond, the motel room's lights flickered. The air grew heavy, and the faint hum that had haunted their memories returned, louder this time, vibrating through their very bones. In Pine Hollow, Martha was jolted awake by a strange sound outside her window. She hadn't intended to fall asleep, but the exhaustion had overtaken her. Now, the rhythmic noise she'd feared most was back. It was faint at first, like a distant heartbeat, but it grew louder with each passing second. She rose from her chair, clutching her shawl tightly, and peered out the window. The fog had returned, thick and impenetrable, wrapping the street in an eerie embrace. But through the haze, she could see faint orbs of light moving purposefully, gliding just above the ground. Her phone buzzed on the counter, startling her. It was Sheriff Dean. "Martha, are you seeing this?" he asked, his voice low and urgent. "They're back," Martha whispered. "Dean, what do we do?" Dean didn't answer immediately. When he finally spoke, his voice was barely audible. "We wait, and we pray they don't come for us." Kevin and Amy barely had time to react before the lights in their room went out completely. The hum grew deafening, and the walls seemed to vibrate. Then, in an instant, the noise stopped, replaced by a profound, eerie silence. "Kevin," Amy whispered, clutching his arm. "Do you feel that?" Kevin nodded, his heart pounding. The air around them felt charged, like the moments before a lightning strike. Slowly, he turned toward the window. Outside, the fog swirled like a living thing, and faint shadows moved within it. "They're here," he said, his voice barely audible. The door to their room rattled, then burst open. Standing in the doorway was not the motel manager or a concerned neighbor, but one of the beings they'd seen in the chamber. Its elongated form shimmered faintly, and its black, void-like eyes locked onto theirs. "You are not ready," the voice echoed in their minds, "but you will be." Before Kevin or Amy could respond, the creature raised its hand and their vision blurred. The room dissolved around them, replaced by a vast, endless void. They were floating, weightless, surrounded by thousands of glowing symbols that shifted and danced like living things. "What is this?" Amy's voice rang out in Kevin's mind, though her lips didn't move. "Knowledge," the voice responded, and a warning. The symbols coalesced into a single image, the Earth, surrounded by countless orbs of light. As they watched, the orbs grew brighter, converging on the planet. The earth began to fracture, its surface splitting apart as a deafening roar filled the void. "You must choose," the voice said. "Survive or understand." Martha and Dean stared at the lights outside, frozen in fear. The orbs moved closer, their glow illuminating the empty streets. One by one, they began to rise, converging above the town into a massive, pulsating sphere of light. Then, as suddenly as it had begun, the light vanished, leaving Pine Hollow in silence once more. But the silence was not reassuring. It was the silence of something unfinished, something lurking just beyond the veil of understanding. Kevin and Amy woke up in their van, disoriented and trembling. They exchanged a look, both knowing they had seen the same thing, but neither spoke of it. Instead, Kevin started the engine, and Amy stared out the window, her fingers tracing the faint symbol that had appeared on her wrist, a mark she had never seen before. Above them, the night sky was clear, the stars twinkling innocently. But somewhere, in the vast darkness between them, something watched, and it was waiting. Thank you for venturing into the unknown with us on Twisted Nightmares Chronicles. If this tale sent shivers down your spine, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon to uncover more twisted tales. Have a haunting of your own to share? Drop it in the comments below. Until next time, keep listening, but be careful what you hear and see. Stay tuned for part 3 of this video coming Friday.